if you look back on your history as a company, what's maybe a mistake, or but it's the biggest mistake, or just a mistake that stands out that you would want to warn other builders about as it relates to design?
I'll let other people jump in this as well. I guess it really goes back again to the client. One thing that's been good about having Blake in the mix now is he knows about some of the challenges we've had, mainly with clients and maybe picking the wrong client. And so I think he's doing a better job than we did of really being in tune to that, and not, it's personality, but it's also just a realistic budget. As you know, in today's 22 prices that we're in and supply chain challenges, and are they going to be patient enough to wait 18 months to 2 years to build this big house? And are they okay with prices are going to be fluctuating all the time? So just making sure that it's really a good fit for our company. What would you say?
I think the same, we take a very collaborative approach to the design. And so if there, at any time the client is starting to dictate some of those things, whether it's they have to use this or they have to, every builder has had the whole thing of, my brother-in-law is going to come in and do whatever. And so trying to help work through all of those so that the client still feels like that they have a say in the whole design, and that it's still their house, even though we have to maybe sometimes say no to the brother-in-law doing whatever it is, that sort of thing. But let them try to project to them that we understand what their needs are and that we want to help them. We want to be their partner in this whole process.
Blake, anything you want to add to that question?
I would just say, to kind of echo what my dad was saying, I think, we've been blessed enough now to earn the reputation that we have within the community. So I feel like we're fortunate to where we can be picky on our clients. And I think that people can appreciate that level of professionalism when I tell them, hey, we're not in that market, but here's a referral for somebody that is, or just being able to be able to talk about that and kind of turn away work sometimes.
So from a design standpoint, as far as I asked the question, like a mistake, it sounds like the mistake is just picking the wrong client. And so do you find, so Yvonne, you mentioned that when the client starts to dictate, do you find that the best clients, at least for Morningstar builders, are the ones that are open and really enjoy that collaborative relationship and look to you for guidance?
Absolutely.
I see you, Ted, shaking his head. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's like anything, Rick, willingness to be led. If you went to the doctor and you started telling him, no, I don't think your diagnosis is right, you need to go down this because I looked this up, Now, that's kind of the same thing what happens to builders, that they've been on YouTube, that solves all world's construction problems, and they know what to do. So I'm like, well, then maybe you should just build your own house. There's a company that's kind of in town that is kind of that. They help people build their own house. I know Blake on more than one occasion has said, have you thought about building your own house?
Yeah, that's kind of a takeaway close, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of like, yeah, why don't you do this? It's like, oh, no, they get them to back down. But, here's what's interesting about all of this is, and Blake, you kind of, I think, brought it up. So Blake, you were just recently using, I think, a pricing tool, sort of a widget to help set expectations as it relates to pricing. And we have challenges today with, obviously, supply chain, which is causing price volatility. We still have a labor shortage, which causes delays. What do you guys do right now as far as to try to set these expectations and then make sure that you're picking the right clients as you put them into your production line?
I think I just try to get in front of it as soon as I can. Thankfully, I think everyone is realizing how expensive it is to be alive in 2022 right now. So the clients that really are clients, I feel like understand. And so I just try to really give we have a certain number that we can build within, but I tell clients, hey, at that size of home, this is what a lot of our clients are spending. You're wanting to build a 3,500 square foot house. we could build it for 1.4, but a lot of our clients are spending between 1.6 and 1.8 to get what they want. And so I just try to not only give what we potentially could build, but I just share with them a typical Morningstar client that we're working with right now is spending between this and this for a home of that size, which is usually more expensive than we could technically build it for. And so I just try to give a range to people. A lot of times it's an education piece because people don't have an idea. Sometimes we'll get a phone call, people have a realistic budget, and a lot of times they don't. So a lot of times what I do is just combing through that and trying to help people understand what's realistic pricing. I mean, there's production homes that are being built right now in 5 months, and they're selling for $950,000. So, everything is expensive. So I think some people are recognizing that, okay, that what I want is a lot more than I was originally anticipating.